What's up everybody, welcome back to Superpower Reviews. My name is Liam Smith. Today we're going to be looking at the Purgatori 1/6 scale figure from TBleague and Executive Replicas. Okay, so first thing we'll do as always is take a look at the box. Now one thing about the TBleague boxes is they have some of the nicest artwork on any of the boxes I've seen. Taking a look at the front of the box, have a full image of the TBleague figure on the front, Purgatori logo at the bottom. Flipping around to the side of the box, have another image of the full figure. And flipping around to the other side of the box, have another full image of the figure in a different pose. One thing about these figures, as you'll see as I go through the review, is they're very poseable. Alright, I'm flipping around to the back side of the box. This is where you get some of the really great original artwork of the Purgatori figure, which was originally made by Dynamite. This figure in particular is made by TBleague, which used to be called Phicen, and also created by Executive Replicas. In addition to the artwork on the back of the box, you also do have a short backstory of the character at the bottom. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the figure out of the box, but I do want to show you how this box opens. This is unique to TBleague on how they package their characters. There are magnets on each side. The front of the box just pulls off like that. There are magnets on the inside holding it to the side of the inside box. Once you remove the front of the box, you just have the foam piece in the middle, and that's where you open it up to the figure and all the accessories. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take the figure, the head sculpt, and all the accessories out of the box and show you everything that it comes with. Alright, I just wanted to take a second to show you how the wings I mentioned are packaged. Underneath the figure foam is where the wings are packaged. There's two sets of wings, a relaxed set and a expanded set, which I'll show you once I remove them from the box. Okay, so first thing we'll take a look at is the head sculpt. I'll do this handheld so I can give you the different angles on this. Really great job on this. One thing about TBleague that they always knock out of the park is their face sculpts and the paint on the face sculpts. If you look closely around the eyes, the lips, everywhere around it, the paint is just flawless. Now the sculpt itself has a very nice look to it, a nice profile, nice shape to all the facial features. Everything about it's done really well. Now the way they did this was, of course, it is the rooted hair. They have the horns that are in here. When they come in the box, they are turned forward, but they can be turned in any direction that you would like them to be. Okay, now moving on to the smaller accessories. First thing we'll start with is her dagger. They did a really great job on this. Nice paint work on that. Gave it a little bit of an aging, not too much. It still has a kind of a new look to it, but the sculpting itself is done really well. And moving on to the hands, there are three sets of hands. The hands that are already on the figure. There are the two closed fist hands and the two open relaxed hands. Next is the goblet, which is filled with blood. You can see the details on that if you look inside the cup, running over the edge of the cup. I like how they put the details of it spilling over the edge. They didn't just fill the inside. Now the next two pieces, these skulls here, are actually shoulder guards, which I'll show you how they attach to the figure in just a little bit. Next piece is the leather collar, goes around the neck. And then you have the very tiny and very well detailed amulet, which is actually an Egyptian ankh. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the wings. I really love what they did here. You can see they have a translucent look to them. You can see through them a little bit. I really like that because if you backlight this behind the wings, it's going to make the wings glow and light up a little bit. That's going to be a really cool effect. Now the sculpting on the wings also done really well. You can see all the different textures in what would be the skin of the wings in between. They have the white claws on each corner, and the way they attach these smaller wings have just a plastic peg that pushes into the back of the figure, and I'll show you how that works in just a moment. Now if you compare this is the relaxed wing. Now they have an open wing that is much bigger. Okay, now as far as how the wings attached, I mentioned there's attachment on the back. There's actually metal ports within the back of the figure, and I like this because, as you may know, the TBleague and Phicen figures have metal endoskeletons, which are extremely solid. You can kind of see from the peg up here, it's a steel peg that follows the skeleton throughout the entire body. And what they did was they attached these peg holes to the skeleton to give it a nice solid hold on the wings. Now the wings themselves, like I said, they're plastic, so they're not very heavy to begin with, but it's nice to know that they're going to be very secure on there. And the way that works, like I said, there's a peg on the back. It just simply presses into the back. Just like that. Okay, and once you have the collar applied to the neck, simply pop the head sculpt on, and that part is complete. Of course, I already went over the details on the head sculpt, so we'll move down to the body and the accessories that come with that. As I mentioned before, there are the shoulder gauntlets, which are the demon skulls with the fangs for teeth. Moving down to the breastplate, you do have the leather style material on that as well as the bottom piece. Great detail on all of that. You can see the painting around the edges have a kind of a gold tone. It does have kind of a pleather or leather look to it. Everything on the figure is a completely separate piece. The top piece, the waist, the bikini bottom, the skull on the belt, everything is a separate add-on sculpted piece, which is what gives it such a realism and such high detail. Moving on down to the arms, you can see there's a little bit of plastic here. You can remove that plastic if you want that's under the arm cover, but I choose to leave that on there just to keep it protected. This is kind of a spandex material. It does bend with the arm really well. 3 different bracelets added onto the arm, again, just like everything else. Separate sculpted pieces. The detail on this is just absolutely amazing. Now moving a little further down to the belt, I mentioned before about everything being a separate piece. No different here. This belt and the bikini bottoms are attached together with the sculpted demon skull on the front. Really great details on here. Like I said, the sculpting on the skull itself is done really well. The straps that go from the bikini bottom to the top of the boots, they are elastic just like a garter would be. And moving on down to the boots, they are the thigh-high boots in a pleather type material, similar to the boots that are on the Lady Death character. I do have a whole series of these TBleague characters which will be under review very shortly as well. As you know, it's a 1/6 scale character, but the wingspan is pretty impressive. We're looking at almost 22 inches across on the large size wings. As far as the height of the character, you're looking at just under 13 inches tall. And going back again to the body itself, TBleague, they really do a remarkable job on a human form with these. The silicone-based bodies, like I said, with a metal endoskeleton, that alone makes them hyper-realistic. As far as articulation, everything on them moves realistically. There's no joints in any of the areas, the elbows, the arms, the legs. There are no joints anywhere. And spinning around to the back of the character, I moved the hair out of the way so you can see how the wings attach here to the back. It still looks clean even without the hair over it, but for the most part, you would probably have the hair covering the back of the wings like that. Alright, now I've went over all the details. What I want to do now for this type of figure, you definitely need to see it in different poses, close-ups, scan around, give you a good idea of what this figure can actually do and how many different ways you can set it up. Okay, and that's going to wrap it up for this review of the Purgatori 1/6 scale action figure from TBleague. Go ahead and leave a comment below, let me know what you thought of this figure. And of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, that way you won't miss any of our upcoming content. And as always, I will see you on the next video.